Some live in a feast, while others a famine. It's so interesting how some people are so effortlessly magnetic, while others seem to have to regulate every move, and somehow it's simply still not enough. Nonchalant, an age old word that seems to have become pretty popular relatively recently. It means calm, relaxed, not showing much of anything from anxiety to enthusiasm. Sounds pretty simple, right? Wrong. Our generation is plagued by people trying their hardest not to try, which actually gives the opposite effect of the attended effect: cringe, try hard, lame. The list goes on. But what does this have to do with you and I? How can true nonchalantness be achieved without striving for it or focus or forcing it, not focusing, or forcing it out of ourselves? Let me tell you a story. So, once upon a time, there was an old farmer. The farmer was the chillest in the land, but one day, his horse ran away. It was a pretty tight knit village, so his neighbors came over and they were all like, "Oh, that's crazy. That sucks." And the farmer replied, "Maybe." A few days later, his horse miraculously returned, and apparently, the horse had leadership qualities because it brought a bunch of other horses with him. And again, all the neighbors gathered and they were shook. They were like, "Great job, bro. That's awesome. What a come up." But the farmer said, "Maybe." Then some days roll past, and the farmer's son is out trying to tame the newfound horses, but falls off one of them and breaks his leg. Again, all the neighbors pull up and offer their condolences, saying, "That's crazy, so unfortunate." But again, the farmer's like, "Maybe." Some days pass, then a military official with his squad pull up, trotting into town, taking all the able-bodied men to join the military and get shipped off to some war. And when they come to the old farmer's house, they see the son has a broken leg and isn't fit for duty. Once the military official moves on to the next village, the farmer's neighbors all come to the farmer's crib to tell him how lucky he is that his son doesn't have to go to war. And the old farmer replies, "Maybe." This is an old Chinese story that I read in a book titled The Little Book on Stoicism by, and get prepared for me to botch this last name, by Jonas Salzgerber. If I botched your name, I already apologize and I'll do so again right now. My apologies. But it's a really good read. Y'all should definitely check it out. But anyways, the moral of the story, or at least the one that I took away from it, is that nothing in and of itself is inherently good or bad. And that kind of ties in for me into being nonchalant because many times there is truly no reason to react one way or another because we don't know if the situation is good or bad. And that's what I think true nonchalantness is rooted in. Just taking things as they are, accepting what you can't control and controlling what you can. No need to fight with reality. It's funny because reality is unchanging, yet ever changing at the same time. And this mentality swap is what truly separates the people who want to act nonchalant to the people who are.
That's a great story. But how is this applicable to me in becoming more nonchalant?
Great question, me. The, the most common problem with individuals trying to be nonchalant is that their mind and how they're acting aren't aligning. Just below the surface, if you zoom in a little bit into their brain, there's a ton of reaction going on. Wondering what's going on, worrying about what other people think, and worrying about how things might turn out. All of these things are things you can't control.
So, what's the solution?
Another great question from me. I'm on a roll. The solution is to better yourself. Put yourself out there more. Gather more IRL XP. Well, that was like a long kind of one sentence. IRL XP. I like saying that. But because the more times you're in a situation, the more you get used to it. And therefore, the more comfortable you are in that situation or in similar situations. The more times you're exposed to hard things and get through it, the more you can rely on yourself and the more self confidence you build. So, when you're in a similar position, the more you believe in yourself and the ability to be able to maximize the things that are in your control will be easier. It'll be easier to let go of things you can't control because now you know that regardless of what happens, you got this and you're capable and will get through it. This applies to everything from social situations to sports to jobs, really anything. The more things you expose yourself to, the easier it will be to just relax and let life do its thing because you know you can handle anything. And that is where I believe true nonchalantness is found. If this has resonated with you, please leave a like and share with your homie that has no aura. And consider subscribing if you're interested in seeing more videos from me. This is E. Be smooth, y'all.